Imagine, if you will, a world that awakens as we drift off to sleep. A world painted not in the vibrant hues of daylight, but in the subtle, muted tones of moonlight and shadow. Here, under the watchful gaze of a billion stars, a silent war is waged every single night. It is a battle of extraordinary skill, of ancient instinct, and of sheer survival. This is the epic contest between two of nature's most remarkable creatures, the owl and the rat. On one side, a phantom of the air, a hunter of absolute perfection. On the other, a master of survival, a creature of cunning and resilience. Who will emerge victorious in this nightly drama? Join us on this journey, and if you find this world as fascinating as we do consider subscribing and liking to explore more of nature's wonders. This is not a simple story of good versus evil, but rather a complex ballet of evolution. Each participant has been shaped over millions of years by the other. The owl's silent wings and piercing stare are a direct response to the rat's keen senses and swift movements. The rat's intelligence and social warnings are honed by the constant, ever-present threat from above. Among the many species of owls that command the night sky, one stands out as a true specialist, a master craftsman in the art of rodent hunting. This is the barn owl, Tyto alba. With its heart-shaped face, a ghostly white visage that seems to float in the darkness, it is a creature of almost ethereal beauty. But do not be fooled by its spectral appearance. The barn owl is one of the most widespread and efficient predators of small mammals on the entire planet. Its life is inextricably linked to that of rodents, particularly rats, voles. Its very survival depends on its ability to outwit these clever and cautious creatures, making it the perfect protagonist in our nightly drama. The barn owl's reputation as a supreme hunter is well earned. It is not a bird of the deep, ancient forests, but rather one that thrives in the open landscapes that we humans have created. Grasslands, farmlands, the fringes of our villages and towns. These are the very habitats where rat populations can flourish. The owl has adapted perfectly to hunt in these environments, using barns, church steeples, abandoned buildings as its favored roosting and nesting sites. From these vantage points, it presides over its territory, a silent sentinel waiting for the slightest indication of movement in the fields below. An adult barn owl with a hungry brood of chicks to feed can catch a staggering number of rodents in a single season. Now let us turn our attention to the owl's formidable opponent, the rat. It is a creature often maligned, a symbol of filth and disease in the human imagination. But to see the rat merely as a pest is to overlook one of nature's greatest survivors. The common brown rat, Rattus norvegicus, is a masterpiece of adaptation. It has colonized every continent on Earth except for Antarctica, thriving in environments that many other species cannot endure. Its success is no accident. It is the result of a suite of remarkable survival strategies, a toolkit of clever defenses that make it an incredibly challenging quarry for any predator, including the owl. The rat's first and most effective defense is its mastery of the darkness. Like the owl, it is primarily nocturnal. By confining its activities to the hours between dusk and dawn, it avoids a host of daytime predators. This shared schedule, however, is precisely what puts it in direct conflict with the night-hunting owls. To counter this, rats have developed an intimate knowledge of their territory. They create intricate networks of tunnels, burrows, providing a safe haven that is inaccessible to an aerial predator. When they must venture out, they prefer to stick to the shadows, scurrying along walls and under cover, minimizing their exposure in open ground where an owl would have a clear advantage. Beyond its burrowing and nocturnal habits, the rat possesses razor-sharp reflexes and incredibly keen senses. Its long whiskers or vibrissae are not just for show, they are highly sensitive tactile organs that allow it to navigate in complete darkness, feeling its way along surfaces and detecting subtle changes in air currents. To overcome such a wary and well-defended adversary, the owl has evolved an arsenal of extraordinary abilities, a set of biological superpowers that make it the ultimate nocturnal hunter. These are not just minor advantages. They are profound adaptations that transform the bird into a predator, silent, all-seeing, all-hearing. The first and most obvious of these is its phenomenal night vision. Close-up, an owl's enormous eyes taking up much of the skull, not spherical like ours, tubular and fixed in their sockets like built-in binoculars. This lets them gather every last photon of light, seeing in near darkness with incredible clarity. But what the owl cannot see, it can certainly hear. Hearing is arguably its most critical hunting sense. Many species, including the barn owl, have asymmetrical ear openings. One ear sits slightly higher on the skull than the other. That tiny offset lets the owl pinpoint sound with astonishing 3D accuracy. A rat rustling in the grass reaches one ear a split second before the other. The owl's brain processes that delay and calculates the prey's location, direction, distance. Once the target is located, the owl deploys its most famous weapon, silent flight. When it strikes, its powerful talons act like a vice. Sharp, curved claws driven by immense crushing power can dispatch prey instantly. The battle between owl and rat is not just one of physical prowess, but also of complex behaviors and secret communication. The social lives of these animals are, well, rich and detailed, playing a crucial role in their nightly struggle for survival. Rats, for instance, are highly social creatures, living in colonies that can range from a small family unit to a sprawling community. They communicate constantly using scent marking. They communicate constantly using body language. They communicate constantly using a wide range of vocalizations. Much of their chatter occurs in the ultrasonic spectrum, a private channel of communication. This social cohesion is a powerful defensive strategy. When a rat spots a threat, such as the silhouette of an owl against the moonlit sky, it can emit a sharp, high-frequency alarm call. This signal travels instantly through the colony, alerting others to freeze, alerting others to hide, alerting others to flee to the safety of their burrows. Owls, too, have their own secret language and social behaviors, particularly during the breeding season. A breeding pair of barn owls will often hunt in a coordinated fashion to provide enough food for their voracious young. The ancient conflict between owls and rats is not confined to rustic farmlands. It's increasingly being played out in our cities. Urban centers expand and create a unique ecosystem, one that brings both challenges and opportunities for wildlife. For rats, cities are a paradise. They offer almost limitless food from our refuse. They find hiding places in sewers, basements, and building cavities. This has led to booming urban rat populations, which can threaten public health and cause economic damage. Some owl species are adapting to city life. Great horned owl, eastern screech owl. They show up in urban parks, cemeteries, and leafy suburban neighborhoods. City rats have become a reliable, abundant food source. Owls trade old tree nests for building ledges or platforms in city parks. Urban owls are our unlikely allies, a silent, feathered night shift. Beyond their biological roles, both the owl and the rat hold a powerful place in the human psyche, deeply embedded in our culture, folklore, and symbolism. Their nightly opposition seems to tap into our primal understanding of light and darkness, wisdom and cunning, life and death. The owl for millennia has been overwhelmingly associated with wisdom, knowledge, prophecy. In ancient Greece, the little owl was the companion of Athena, its image stamped on coins. This association has endured. We still see the owl as thoughtful, knowledgeable, perceptive, a wise old owl. The rat, conversely, plays a different cultural role, symbol of the underworld, disease, decay, betrayal, linked to plagues, thriving in waste, secretive and scurrying, earning a reputation for filth and untrustworthiness. To rat someone out, betrayal. A rat's nest, chaos and filth. Yet that reputation obscures the rat's ingenuity and resilience. The epic contest between the owl and the rat is a perfect illustration of a key concept, a co-evolutionary arms race. This is not a static relationship but a dynamic, ever-shifting struggle. Each species applies constant evolutionary pressure on the other. An adaptation in the predator drives the evolution of a counter-adaptation in the prey, which in turn pushes the predator to evolve again. It is a relentless, multi-generational cycle, a biological chess match played out over thousands of years with survival as the ultimate prize. Every feature we have discussed is a move in this grand game. Consider the owl's silent flight. This remarkable adaptation did not evolve in a vacuum. It arose as a direct response to the acute hearing of rodents like rats. Prey that could hear a predator coming were more likely to survive and reproduce, passing on their sensitive hearing to their offspring. This created a strong selective pressure for owls to become quieter. Only the stealthiest owls were successful hunters, and so, over countless generations, their feathers evolved the sound-dampening structures we see today. So who wins the epic battle of owls versus rats? The truth is, there is no final victor. There cannot be. What we are witnessing is not a war with a clear end, but an eternal dance, a perfectly balanced and self-sustaining cycle. The owl and the rat are two sides of the same coin, locked together in a relationship that defines them both. If you have been captivated by this story, please subscribe and press the like button to continue exploring the breathtaking wonders of our planet.